Roll Call 219 here, and I got a new firearm. I haven't had one for quite some time, and I figured to myself it was time for a change. It was a time for a change for the carry rotation, and I think I did a good job on it. And in doing so, I did get another gun that was pretty much ready to go in my carry rotation. Now, I acquired this gun on a trade from one of my coworkers, and I've been looking for one of these guns for quite some time. I've also been looking for a Glock43, and I could not find these guns for a reasonable price. My coworker says I have one. We could do a trade. I'll throw in some extra bonuses for the gun that he wanted, and I'm like, well, okay, let's do it. I traded my Glock 19 away for a Glock43. Some people will say that I'm stupid about it, or it was a bad trade. I think it was a good trade because I have a CZ P10C, which is basically just like a Glock 19 in some aspects of round capacity, things like that. So why do I need that gun? On top of it, looking over here in my safe, I also have an FNS 9. So why do I want to have all these guns that are pretty much similar in capacity and the role they would play? So I went ahead and did the trade. Now, Glock firearms are really hard to come by. I've gone through numerous gun shops over this past Corona that's been going on, and you cannot find these guns. And if you do find these guns, you are paying a hefty price for these guns. So in this trade that I got was, of course, the Glock firearm. Make sure it's unloaded, which it is. And this is what it looks like. It came with some blacked out rear sights and then a fiber optic front sight on it. So those old crappy Glock sights are gone. So that's a plus. On the grip itself, he did his own stippling job on it, which isn't bad. It's not bad. He's done it on his CZ, which it turned out fine, and he did it on this Glock, which, to me, is okay. I'm not a huge fan of what Glock grips are when they come from factory. So this is, to me, this is a better upgrade than what I would have been stuck for if this was just a plain Jane 43, but it's not. On top of that, I got 5 mags plus, let me grab these, 2 holsters. This one is a Bianchi. That fits the gun pretty well, so he must have had it in this holster for some time because it fits snug in there. Bianchi holsters are not cheap, to tell you the truth. Sometimes these things will run you about up to $60. So that's a $60 holster. And plus this one, which is a Kydex. Let me look and see if I can see who it is. It's made in the USA. I forgot the name of the company, so I'm just not a bad reviewer, but that's the company. It looks like it's from Texas, and this gun fits in that holster snugly, clicks with good retention, and it has these 2 plastic loops that go around the belt. As you guys know, I've been carrying a Versa carry belt, and that belt is pretty thick. This works well with that belt. Some of my holsters that I use for the smaller guns like my SIG 365 and whatnot don't fit on this carry belt. They just don't. I'll have a review on that later. And then, of course, it comes with your standard lock and paperwork. So let me get all this stuff out of the way and we'll look at the firearm. So on top of all those little goodies that I got, I also got this precious, if you can look at it, this Terran Tactical precious extension that will give me 2 extra rounds in it, and that's what he carried in this gun. To tell you the truth, it was for his wife, but they recently relocated and they were able to build a range she went out there and shot this gun and did not like it, and liked his bigger style of firearm, which he also has a P10C. So he figured to get her a Glock 19, which I had, because you cannot find these guns anywhere, and we traded it up for what you see here, in 5 magazines, the 2 holsters, and he put those sights on there. So that's a good deal in my opinion. I felt that it was a decent trade. It was a gun that I only took on vacations. It usually, the 19 usually just sat in the safe. It didn't really serve a real big purpose unless I went on vacation and I was driving with one of these extendos for that 19. So I mean, to me, it was a decent trade. I'm not gonna harp on it too much. I don't have any love lost, because I do have my CZ P10C, and it's a great gun. It serves its purpose. And you know, why have a bunch of these other guns that are a little bit better, especially with the trigger job in my CZ? And the FN has, I believe, a better trigger than my Glock anyway, even though it was a Gen 5. Yes, it was a Gen 5 Glock. But I figured, with the way the world is now, what we're seeing, carrying a bigger firearm will give you advantages, which is capacity and whatnot. But with everybody freaking out, and with definitely everything that's gone on in Kenosha, this is going to bring about change in how us gun owners carry. It started when certain people were carrying in stores, and then stores were getting mad about open carry, and that led to bans on open carrying in stores in my area. I don't know how your area is, but there's a lot of stores that will not let you open carry. And some of these guns, like my CZ and like other guns that I have in my safe, are bigger and a little bit less concealable in the summertime. In the wintertime, I'm wearing a lot of layers of clothes. Everybody's bundled up, so it's a bit easier to conceal one of these full-size guns, as you wish, whatever you want to call it. So I figured for the summertime, even though I do have my SIG 365, and we'll do a little bit of a comparison here, as you see, if I can get them back to back, they are pretty close in size. Pretty close in size. Again, there's the grip width on them. So these guns are pretty similar. I figured this would give me 2 more options in my carry rotation that I can conceal easily. The 43 is established into that baby Glock realm years back when it first came out, and I've always been interested in that gun, but I was always messing around with full-size guns and then those little budgety guns that were going around. So I never got around to getting a 43 or a 26. When I saw Sergeant from C4 Defense's video on the Glock 26, that made me want a Glock 26. I could not find them for the life of me. I finally found one, quite a few of them, that were at a local shop here in my area, but I just did not have the cash. This one presented itself, and I either wanted a 43 or a 26, whichever one that I could come upon during these hard times of finding firearms. It's almost like a unicorn hunt when you find the stuff that you're actually looking for. Nothing that, well, I'll take a chance on, or I'll give it a go, this is a budget gun. Nothing like this. A gun that I was actually hunting for and trying to find it. So I found it. I've always, I always knew he had this gun, and I always put the bug in his ear about trying to either buy this gun from him or maybe trade a gun for a gun, because I don't really like selling guns outright. I would rather put them either towards a new firearm or trade them for the firearm that I want. That way I always have a firearm. It's always great to have cash in hand, but right now ammunition you cannot find. You cannot find it. So money at this point to save up in case ammunition does come through, it's just something I'm not going to wait around for. Not when I have a bunch of 9mm that I can shoot right now to practice with this firearm. So again, she is little. This gun is little. Let me see if I have a mag. These are pretty much all full. I had one that only had a couple of rounds in there. There you go. So these guns usually come, from what I gathered, they came with 2 mags maybe. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen one of these guns when we used to get them into the shop. I believe they came with the extension mag and then the flat base plate. So we'll put one in there, and it feels good in my hand. My pinky does kind of drop off there with the flush fit magazine for deeper concealment, but what makes it good with that extension is I can put that on there, and now I have pretty much a full grip. Pierce makes a really good extension for these firearms, these Glock guns. I put one on Cindy's 43, and she hasn't shot it yet with that extension on there, but I think she'll have a little bit more control over that gun instead of just having the flat base plate on there, and able to get her whole hand on the gun to control it more during recoil, because these guns are not they're not too big. As you can see it compared to my CZ, there's a lot missing off the end of the firearm compared to my CZ and other guns that I have in my safe. You can go around to everybody else's channel and check out the specs on these guns. Again, this is from the Baby Glock series and of firearms, and they only made one generation of this gun, so it's not like a Glock 19 Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4. No, they only made one generation of this gun, so it's pretty much standard. You can change out those bum sights that Glock will refuse to change out, and put some different ones, whether they're the XS big sights or something of that nature. I forgot what sights he said these were. If you guys are interested, I'll ask him the next time I see him and throw it down into the comments and pin it to this video. But again, it's a decent gun. You do only get 6 rounds in the firearm, 6-round mags, but with the extension that gives me 2 extra rounds. And again, sometimes the Pierce grip extensions that are out there on the market, if you can find them at this point, they will add extra rounds too. You just have to go through there and look at it and make your determination to get those grip extensions with the extra rounds. I mean, let's face it, in this time that we're living in, it's great to have that capacity, but if you ever have the problem of using your firearm for self-defense, I look at this gun is not to go to war with, not to sit there and do tactical reloads with. This is to get you out of the spot that you're in at that time to get away. This will give you a chance to regroup and get away. That's how I look at these small guns. I don't look at them as battle guns. If I was really going to go to battle, I'd take my CZ, or I take that FN or something else that I have in here. That's how I look at it. I'm going to get more length on the barrel with these guns than I would anything like this. If I was carrying this gun in the field, I would probably carry this as a backup or my SIG 365. I will be doing a comparison with these two guns and see which one I like better, and pretty much put my my thoughts in on that, because the 365 is a little bit shorter, but it still offers what I'm looking for, which is the concealability of a firearm, because people are so scared of them for some reason nowadays. So we'll just make sure the gun's unloaded, and then we'll check the trigger pull on the gun. There's the brake. And there's the reset and let off. So it's just got that basic Glock trigger. They don't make great triggers for Glocks. The Gen 5 trigger was pretty good. I think it was better than the Gen 4. But yet again, to each its own on your trigger pull likeness. So this is a gun that I got. I'm ecstatic that I finally had the opportunity to obtain one of these guns. And I'll probably never get rid of this gun because right now, unless Glock comes out with a huge shipment of firearms and it floods the market, you're probably not going to see these guns on the shelf. And if you do, I highly recommend that you pick them up, whether it's the 43, the 42, the 43, or the 26, because the 26 you can interchange your 19 mags with them. And the cops around here that I've noticed lately have been carrying Glock 19s. That's why I wanted a 26, because you can interchange those magazines just in case all hell breaks loose and you have no other option and you've already ran the round count through your gun. You could always pick up those mags if they're lying around and insert them into a firearm where it's compatible. A lot of the PC carbines now are giving you that Glock mag extension on there or magwell, so you can interchange those Glock mags into your PCC. So I think that was one of the things that drew me to that 26 for being a handgun, since I do have some extra 19 mags down here in the safe. So that's the new gun I got, which is the Glock43. I did have to trade it off, and I got rid of a really reliable gun, a gun that I shot quite a bit, a gun that I traveled with, a gun that I carried, a gun I trusted my life with to get me where I need to go if in case I got into a situation. But I think I got a pretty fair deal for all the magazines I got, because I'm not going to Pro Mag magazines ever again. I'll have a video coming out about this last Pro Mag that I bought. I'm just going to stay away from that company. And you really have to watch aftermarket magazines. A lot of people griped about the Shield Arms magazines for the 48X and things like that, how they kind of didn't work real good and they weren't reliable. That's a 50-50 crapshoot from the videos I watched. And then I watched one video from a famous YouTuber and he just shit all over it. So and I barely take any of that advice he gives anyway, but you always give people a second chance and they continuously screw it up with things that they say. But with all that being said, I think I'm going to be satisfied with this gun. I am going to shoot this gun this weekend. I'm taking it with me this weekend to go shoot on a private range. Maybe I'll do a little bit of filming. Maybe I won't. I definitely will take pictures on Instagram on all the interesting firearms that I'm going to be able to shoot from Scar firearms, and then from suppressors. I've got a couple of guns lined up that I'm going to get the opportunity to shoot. So that's going to be a pretty rad experience that I'm going to have this weekend. And then this might get me to move over that line of buying a suppressor. I'm still on the fence with that, and I know a lot of people talk about it. I do have guns in my safes that are threaded where I can attach a can to it. I just don't like the legal issues it creates. And, my kids might always, grow out of firearms or being interested in it. So I just don't really want that can to sit around. I want people to use it and enjoy it and things of that nature. So I'm still on the fence about it. But this is the new gun that I got. Happy I got it. I'm going to shoot it this weekend. Maybe I'll just shoot some indiscretion video and shoot it and then talk about it later, or maybe voice over it. Because I want to enjoy shooting. I haven't gone since the last couple of videos I made, and that was a while ago. So I want to go and enjoy and shoot some really probably fantastic guns that are going to show up there at this little shoot that we're going to have this weekend. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Stoked to shoot this gun, try it out. I also am going to bring my 365 with me and probably compare the two and which I like better. And, you know, in retrospect, I'll probably never get rid of the SIG or this gun, but maybe it might determine what I'm going to carry more often, whether it be hunting or just personal protection. So we'll get into that video here in the next few weeks. I have some videos that are trying to upload now, but of course my internet doesn't want to work. So those videos will be coming out. They've already been shot, they've already been edited, and they've already been drilled. It's just the time to upload those videos. So look out for those, which are Rose Corners. And then I'll start posting some stuff on Instagram. You can go follow me there at rollcall219. You can go follow me there on Instagram, and also Twitter at rollcall2010/219. I'll be posting pictures of some of these guns that I'm going to shoot hopefully this weekend, or even watch people shoot them. I mean, I'm going to bring quite a bit of ammunition to help feed these guns, and we're going to have a fun time. So stay tuned for that. With all this being said, I'd like to thank my old and my new subscribers and just the people that skip through. I greatly appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Share your favorite gun content all over the interwebs. And like always, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.